Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Michael Williams here with your tutorial for 2026, how to set your OBS up. There's so many different things that are coming out now, so I just want to start from scratch. This is a brand new install. Actually, it's a brand new scene, I would say. So once you install, you're going to go to OBS Studio. I think it's obsprojects.com. You're going to download. Actually, let me just put it up here. You're going to go to OBS Studio. Let me go right here. I'm not going to go through obsproject.com. I was right. Put it on the screen here. You're going to go here. You're going to click on your Windows or your Mac. You're going to download it. So you're going to open up go to your program files and go to your bin. You're going to right click on here and go into properties. Once you go into properties, you want to go into compatibility mode. And right here, you want to click this little icon right here. It's option run program as administrator. What that does is that gives you priority on your computer for running your software. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into settings. Once you get this in, you're going to click on audio. Find your audio device, and you're going to install it or pick the audio device you hear, as I did right here. My audio device is my analog Focusrite. Now, you'll notice that it's only coming out of one channel simply because I have a 2-channel, actually it's a 4-channel card, and you can't just pick 1 or 2 channels without extensive plugins using something like Voicemeeter or something, which we won't get into. I'm going to right click here on down here on advanced audio properties, and right here I'm going to click on mono. Once I click on mono, there's another thing you can do. You can actually pan this over to the right, and it will only give you the right channel. And then I'm going to click on mono, and then I know my audio is going to be off because I tested it, and I know it's about 150 milliseconds. And I want to make sure that I only need track 1 recording for this actual broadcast. So mic is set, and there you go, and you click close. Now you'll see that my audio's there. Still not loud enough. I'm going to click on there, hit filters, and I'm going to add a gain filter because this specific mic needs a little gain. So I'm going to add about 10 dBs to this microphone because I don't have it running through a mixer. Close, and it should be a lot louder. So there you go. So now I got my audio set. The audio will be on all of one of my scenes, okay? So my first scene I have here is my screen, which is my laptop screen. And my next scene, the screen's going to go black for a minute. I'm actually going to add a video capture device. And actually, let me just put it in here first. I'm going to go add source video capture device right here. I'm going to name this my GoStream because I'm using my GoStream deck in this office. I use the ATEM Mini in the other office. I'm going to click OK. It's going to pop up my GoStream right there. I don't need to change anything down here, and I'm good to go. And I'm going to click there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to right click on here. I'm going to turn this off for a second. I'm going to right click on my GoStream. I'm going to hit copy. And I'm going to put this in my other scene, and I'm going to paste it as a reference. When you right click and paste as a reference and turn it on. So now I have my 2 scenes set, and I have my scene set for my camera, and then I have a scene set for my screen. So I have my scene set so that way that I can actually go back and forth between the two. Now, if I go into studio mode, that allows me to actually pick a preview scene and have a program scene on the right hand side. You can also have different transitions here. So that's the best way to set up your initial OBS. Now, one thing you want to do is I probably want to set up another scene here. I'm going to click add scene. I'm going to call this split camera because a lot of people do commentary on their channels. So I'm going to hit split camera here, and it's going to go blank for a second. Actually, let me switch over. Let me go to my screen. I'm going to transition over here to that, and I'm going to go into my split camera right here. And what you'll see here is I can add a source that's already there. So the source I want to add is my video capture device. I'm going to click add existing, and that's going to be my GoStream. I'm going to click OK. And then I want to add another, actually you can add a source or scene. I'm going to add a source that I already have. I'm going to do my display capture, and I'm going to add existing, which is my laptop. And you'll see my laptop pop up on top. Now what I want to do is I want to grab the edge of my laptop. I want to size that down here. Right, and this is just only for commentary purposes. I want to move my camera over to the right or left, whichever you prefer, and I'm just going to actually just squeeze it in right there. And now I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and I'm going to actually crop in the left side of my camera, and I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to hold down Alt, or I believe it's Command on the Mac. I think it's Option on the Mac. I'm sorry. Now I want to move this above. I want to move my bowstring above the camera, and I want to size this down. So there we go. So now I have my camera there. I maybe don't need it that big, kind of like a StreamYard look, which I'll get into later. So now I have my screen here, I have my camera here, and I have 3 scenes left. And I'm going to actually turn off studio mode. So you're actually going to see my actual camera, which is right here. And then I'm going to have my split screen, which is me, maybe commenting on the screen. And then I'm going to have my just my laptop screen. I probably won't use a laptop screen by itself. I'll always use this mode right here. Now, I just want to square that up right there. Now, there's some other things I can do here natively without having to put any plugins in. First thing I can do is I can add a color source. So I'm going to right click on this, and let me see if I zoom in a little bit. I'm going to add a color source, plus right here, and go to color source. That's going to allow me to add a color source. So my logo is purple, and I'm going to select just a regular purple, click OK, and I'm going to click OK on that, and then I'm going to drag that to the bottom. It was at the top. I'm going to drag it to the bottom. So let me zoom out so you can see that. So that's how my screen looks now. Now, another thing I can do is I can, without using plugins, I'm trying to do this without using plugins, right? I can actually add somewhat of a drop shadow to my camera right here without using plugins. What I can do is I can right click, zoom down here. I can hit plus. I'm going to hit color source one more time. This time I'm going to name it black, right? And I'm going to pick a black color. Click OK. And I'm going to drop that. I'm going to drag that below my camera. So that's below the camera. And then I'm going to resize the camera box that I chose. I'm gonna click on the actual image, and I'm going to click on Alt key to crop it in as well. Now you can use arrow keys, which I wish we would have had earlier in OBS usage. It's fairly useful in times of trying to move items, slowly but surely. So there we go. So now that's there, and now I want to add a filter on that, which is not a plugin. I'm gonna click on black, and I'm gonna click on this filter button right here, and I'm going to add color correction. Color correction is going to be here, and I'm going to click down right here. It's going to allow me to adjust the opacity right there, right? So now I adjusted the opacity, and if you see here, I can actually zoom in to this, and you can see that the opacity of the black box is actually lighter. So I added a little drop shadow there. Now there's some plugins you can use to add some drop shadows on your own, but that's looking pretty good. I mean, I can actually take that one, the black one, I can zoom in right here, and I can copy this, and I can paste it right as a duplicate. And the only reason I paste it as a duplicate is because I can blow this up right here and put it behind. I'm going to hold down the Alt key to release the cropping on both sides, because I just want it right here behind the actual screen. So I'm creating a little bit of a layout, so you can see this is all without plugins. You don't need plugins right away. And I'm going to drag that down below the laptop screen. Now, something that you can do in this instance is you can take the laptop and hold down shift, and you can actually group those together by right clicking on there, hit group selected items, and hit rename and screen group. That's not how you spell group. You use GRP for now. And then I can take the if you see, if I close the arrows and then I turn that off, all of it goes off at the same time, right? So that is the way to do that. And then I can group the ghost stream or my camera together with that. I can right click, I can hit group selected items, and I can put camera group. So there we go. So now my camera is in a group, and I have this in a group. And now we're going to get into some text. I can put some text down here. I'm going to hit plus key, and I'm going to hit a GDI right there. And I'm going to put book a session today. All right, and I'm going to just put White Label Consulting, because that's the channel name. White Label Consulting. I spelled label wrong. All right, so that's there. I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to hit Control F, because that will fit the text into the window I need it to be in. I'm going to move this down to the bottom. Now the OBS will use the fonts that are available on your computer. And when you click on the text right here, all you have to do is click on select font. And then I'm just going to pick a bolder font, and then that should be good right there. And then I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. And then there we go. And then another thing I'm going to do is probably add my logo. So I'm going to hit plus. Now I recommend, actually, I'm going to hit studio mode. I actually recommend that you add a scene over here and you name it branding, and keep all your branding in another scene, only because you may want to I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna add source, add image. I'm gonna call it logo. I only do that in case you record for a couple of different layouts. Then just starting out, you'll need to just kind of find how to set up your scenes so where you're actually not having to load different scenes for every time you record. So I'm actually just going to I think the WLC is down here. There we go. That's the logo. So I'm going to place that logo, where I want it, kind of at the bottom of the screen. I know YouTube and some other channels already have a place where they drop a logo. So I'm going to just make this real small. And then I'm going to go back to my split camera scene, and I'm going to right click here. Let me zoom down here. I'm going to click zoom, and I'm going to actually go up, instead of adding a source, I'm actually going to add a scene. And I just want to add the branding scene. So whatever scenes that I put inside of that source, right, I can just change those whenever I need to do it. So now my my branding source is there, and I can go in here. I'm going to transition this over so you can see it. Now it pops up. So now I have my camera scene there. I've got my camera on the right hand side, and I can essentially take, again, this whole group right here in this camera. And the way I grouped it together, it doesn't have to be here. If I wanted to rearrange this whole scene, I can move this over here. I can click on the other camera group, which is going to be camera group here. Actually, let me lock the logo, and I can click on the camera group scene here, move this here, do this right there. Move the logo, move this more into the middle. I can also pick a different font. I'm kind of particular with just like thicker fonts like Montserrat and stuff like that. I really like really thick fonts. I have a few fonts here, like Impact. Let me pick the Impact. There we go. Click that, click OK. Yeah, thick fonts like that. You can also change the color of the font. So I can pick a green, something like that. It's probably be a little bit sore on the eye, but whatever. I mean, if you wanted to do something a little bit more fancy, what you could do is you could go to pixabay.com. It offers royalty-free videos, and I'll throw it on the screen real quick. And I can search up purple videos, because that's our color, purple or gray. And I'll click search here, and then right here at the top, I just want to change this all images to video. And once I do that, it will give me a myriad of purple videos. That one's kind of cool, but not too much. Let me see how fast it is. You just mouse over it and moves a little bit. So let's take this one real quick right here. I'm going to click on this video right here, download it. I don't need the 1920 1080 because you don't want to take up a lot of your memory. You're going to download it. Remember where you download it. I have an OBS assets folder that I use right here, relaunch assets, and I got lots of videos in there. As soon as I find it, let me see here, OBS assets, and I'll just put it in there for now. And then when I go back to my video, I'm going to click on this button right here. I'm going to click on media source. I'm gonna name it. Make sure you name all your sources too. Purple background. And here's what I want to do. I want to hit plus. I want to hit browse. I should have my quick access on. That would, yep. So the video's right there. So here's a few things. You want to make sure it loops. You want to make sure that it doesn't restart playback when the source becomes active. You want it to play right where it's from. If you have the ability to use hardware decoding, you can. You don't necessarily have to, and you don't need any of this other stuff. Click OK. Now you're not going to see it sometimes on your computer if you don't make it full screen, but I do. So I'm going to make that large. I'm going to drag it all the way above the purple. There we go. Now the same way that we used the filter for the black shadow, you can actually right click on this and go to filters and hit plus. Add color correction, click OK, and you can bring the opacity down. So it's kind of like an overlay, as you can see right there. It's kind of just like a little bit of motion, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be this strong, and just click OK. Now I haven't used any plugins whatsoever, but this is just a quick 15-minute way to set up your stream, and I think that looks pretty good. So I have my single camera here. I have my split camera scene. I have my branding, which is just my logos. If I want to change that logo out, I could, and then I have my actual screen. I definitely want to make sure that these are spaced out as evenly as I can get them spaced out. This is my purple background. Let me lock that. So let me do this real quick. Let me go into my screen group, move that up just a little bit there, and we'll do that right there. And actually, because I think that green is a little too much, we'll do that, make that white. And actually on the purple background, I am going to make that purple gray. I'm gonna switch the color to maybe like a grayish. Let me go in here to white, change it to maybe like a soft gray or something like that. It looks a little better. Then I can actually go into the purple background, right click on the filter, go up to filters right here. I can actually go on color correction and actually take all of the color out of that. If I just wanted some motion, I can just take that out right there. So now I got a little bit of motion, as you can see. Looks like a little nice, little cool little setup. Again, I probably really will lock my, if you go right here, let me go right here. I would lock the, any groups, I would lock those so they don't move or you don't move them accidentally. And then when you're switching between your profiles here, you can have your camera scene, you can talk, hey, we're going to cover a tutorial today, switches over to that. You can switch back and forth pretty seamlessly. So, hey, that's how to get set up for your OBS basic setup. I'll be covering some more tutorials here in the next couple of weeks. This is Michael Williams of White Label Consulting. You have a great night. God bless you.